Namaste. Hello, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia to share some guidance for this weekend, this Saturday and Sunday, the 29th and 30th of September. So I've just canned a stream because it was freezing again. My last few streams have not been streaming video very well at all. So I just was trying something, but it didn't work. So I uninstalled the app, reinstalled it. Please let me know if it starts freezing. So I'll be hanging out here for a little bit, fingers crossed, if we have a good enough stream to share some guidance. I also would like to hang around for a chit chat later if you want to hang around after the guidance itself. So please feel free to if you want. Please let me know if this starts freezing. Not that there's anything much I can do about it except stop. I guess I could just get into it straight away just in case it gets worse or happens. But fingers crossed it won't happen this time. So extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for supporting what I do. If you're new to watching, welcome. Oh, Mary Jane says it's freezing. It's still freezing. I don't know what's wrong with this app at the moment. My voice is weird and gargled. I really don't know what else to do unless I record this separately on a video and just upload it. Maybe that's what I need to do. It's not kicking people off at this point. Facebook, what are you doing? Worse than before. It must be a bad app download at the minute. They might need to do some work on it. Yeah, this is not going to be any good. I think what I will do is well, we've still got viewers. How about if I just keep going? Sometimes the audio has been coming through loud and clear, but the visual not so much. Oh yeah, Michelle says it's not freezing for me. Okay, what I'm going to do is just keep going and we'll see what happens. If it gets worse or people start dropping out and getting kicked out, I'll probably just delete it and come back with just a separate plain video, an old-fashioned video. So let's keep going. So, anyway, I would like to hang about for a bit after I share the guidance, if this is all working out. So we'll just see how we go. If you're new to watching, welcome. I'm going to be using my Speed of Light Oracle cards today, and I'm going to be pulling one card for Saturday, one card for Sunday, and one card for the theme for Saturday and Sunday. I'm not doing personal requests for guidance, so no private, personal, one-on-one specific readings for people here. I do general guidance for everyone for a couple of reasons. One, I couldn't connect with every single person on here for a private one-card reading or something, unless I wanted to be here for 24 hours. And I don't think it's fair that I don't get to everybody. So to connect with 5 or 6 people during a stream, I don't feel is fair for the other 100 people that might be connecting. So general guidance for everyone just works better, I feel, for all of us. So that's why I'm here. I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust you enjoy our time together today. So take on board what feels right, let the rest go, and let's see what happens. Let's let ourselves be surprised. So fingers crossed, we're going to have the stream clears up. So I'm looking now for the best card for Saturday, the 29th of September. Saturday the 29th. And we'll go with this card right here. It's the Shaman, and it's a featured card, so it has further instructions here, which say to fan out the deck and pull an extra card. So I'm going to go with this card here. Okay. So we have these two cards for Saturday. I'm going to look at these cards separately, and then we're going to look at their relationship together. This is the Shaman card 17, and it says solitude, grounding, mending, privacy, and reassess. So this is talking about Saturday. Some of us might be really requiring some personal private time. It may not be all day, it may be just some of the day, or we may be feeling a little bit hermit-like, a little bit antisocial perhaps, a little bit withdrawn. And this is not a bad thing, because these quieter moments where we feel a bit like we want to be a bit secluded or a little bit withdrawn, or to hang out in our cave, in our home, in our room, in our workshop, in our studio or something, is usually an important time to contemplate, reflect, reassess our life, to heal, to mend. So if things have been accumulating, if things have been busy, if you've been quite busy and you just need a little bit of time to recoup, then you might find that on Saturday. So private time feels to be important, while we concentrate on what we personally need as individuals, and that's okay. So whether we can capture 5 minutes or whether our whole day on Saturday is in that sort of space, let's embrace it and work with it. Let's work with our quiet moments to help us assess or process whatever we might have been going through, or what we might be currently going through at this time. So there's a grounding element to this card, so we might be feeling like pottering around, creating things, building things with our hands, gardening, being in nature might be important things that kind of pull us on Saturday. So let's now look at this card that goes with it, because this will add more information to this card. So it might indicate what we need to step back and reassess or mend, or what we need private time to explore will probably show up in this card. So, or for some of us, this is Indigo card 18. So we've got card 17 and 18. And the keywords say new, children, innocence, fun, magic, and birth. So this talks about new pathways opening up in our life, opportunities, things occurring that are leading us down perhaps new tracks or new paths in our life. And so some of us may be contemplating or need our private time to look at these new pathways, to look at how we can create opportunities for ourselves, or look at the opportunities that have been presenting and how or if we want to proceed with them. Because we don't have to take part in every single opportunity that comes our way. Sometimes we do need to pick and choose. Sometimes we do need to kind of assess and feel, okay, does this feel right for me right now? And then choose, yes, I'm going to take this path, or no, this is not quite for me. I'm choosing to concentrate on something else. So just because something presents itself doesn't mean we have to do it. We are wise beings, and we've lived a lot of years and a lot of moments already. So we can kind of assess and use our wisdom to pick and choose things if we have that choice. On the other hand too, let's be careful of running away from something because we're scared to commit, or we're scared to put ourselves out there, and we might be hiding or holding ourselves back. So if we're hiding or holding ourselves back and we're scared to make a commitment, then if that was me, I'd be looking at, okay, why am I scared? What is this fear? Because usually the fear is covering something that can potentially be quite good. I've noticed the more resistance I have, the louder my resistance is. Like, oh, I'm really scared to do that, or what if that doesn't work out? If I'm resisting trying something or going down a certain path, that's a red flag for me, because I know my resistance, my ego, the voice of my hurt and pain, my lower self, is trying to hold me back from something good, something beautiful, something joyous for me. So if I feel resistance, I usually push through it and go that way. If I have a casual choice, I will pick and choose. So let's be aware of that, especially if that's something that's relevant to you in your life at this time. So that's the guidance for Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, sorry. You might find this card resonates, This card might resonate on its own or the combination. It will just depend on what you need and what's going on for you right now personally. So I trust that makes sense. So that's Saturday. Let's now look for the best guidance for Sunday, the 30th of September. So Sunday the 30th. We'll see what comes up. I trust that you're doing well as well. Hopefully this stream holds up so I can hang around for a little bit and have a little chit chat. That's what I'm here to do as well. So we'll see. Sunday the 30th. Here's our card. Oh, I love this. Focus. Oh, it's shifting something in the throat. Interesting. So, hold on a minute. So this is card 38 called Focus. And it says holding position, timing and growth. So this reminds us to hold our stance, to hold our position on Sunday. This is especially important if we've had naysayers or people questioning our motives or telling us that we're not doing the right thing or we should do it this way and not that way. Even if we have our own doubt that's trying to talk us out of something, this card's about holding our current position, holding our stance. So I feel a sense of self-belief in this card and also self-confidence. So building our confidence over the weekend to believe in what we're standing for, to believe in who we are and what the direction that we're going and the choices that we are choosing to make in our life, that they are right for us. We can trust that. It's good to listen to other people's opinions because sometimes, you know, an external perspective can be interesting and can be a good thing to follow if it feels right. Sometimes it isn't, but sometimes it is. I mean, I wouldn't be shutting off all external opinions necessarily. I would sit with them and go, okay, does that feel true to me? If I'm getting the same message from different people, then it might be trying to get my attention. But sometimes it's trying to get my attention so that I can be stronger in my stance. So if you're a bit unwavering or a bit unsure about what you need to do, then Sunday feels like, I'm sorry if it keeps pausing and freezing. I just have to trust that something's coming through that makes sense and is audible. So I'm really sorry. I don't know. The streamings, I haven't been very good lately. So if you're a bit unwavering with your stance, you might find over the weekend that things happen to help you become more concrete and solid in what you need to do. So hold your position, trust in perfect timing, and know that you've walked your path, you've got to this point in your life, you know why you've got here, you know all the things that you've been through, the choices that you've made, the doors that you've shut, the doors that you've opened. You know everything that's got you to this point. So you can trust in this moment and that you know what you're doing. So stay focused on Sunday. And there's growth with this card. So as we hold position, as we build our confidence and we build our strength and that concrete, solid sort of energy in our stance, then there's growth that comes from this. So it's like a tree finding its position and embedding its roots into the ground and growing its branches up into the sky. And that's a lot like us at the moment, but especially on Sunday. So that's Sunday's guidance. Now let's look for the best card for the theme. So the theme card will help us bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Saturday and Sunday. So if you're still here, great. If you can still hear me, fantastic. And if you can still see me and hear me, then that's just an added bonus, I guess. So let's look for, that's if you want to see me. Well, I guess you do if you're watching the video. But let's look for the theme card. So we'll grab this card for the theme. Here, Purification, card 8. And this is another perfect card for this weekend. It says cleanse, detoxification, and toxins. Sorry, the cat's trying to run away with my microphone cord, but she stepped out of it. So this is about cleansing, purging, purifying, clearing, cleaning, cleansing. And in many ways, I feel this is preparing us for something. Sometimes I've noticed that I go through like a purging time, emotionally, mentally, physically, in my body, in my life. And it's usually clearing out old stuff. So clearing out old debris, old energy, old thoughts, old ways, old habits, old stuff that might still be lingering in my space. So I would be cleansing and to clear out the old, but also cleansing to prepare myself to make room for the new. So if we have a wardrobe or a cupboard that's full of boxes and stuff that we haven't looked at for years, and the new energies knocking on that door, the new stuff that wants to come into our life, the new experiences, the new people, the new moments, the new stuff, it's knocking on that door trying to get in, but there's no room. And we need to clear out that cupboard first, get it all cleared out and away so that there's room for the new stuff to come in. And that's what this energy's about. So some of us might find it helpful to spend focused time really thinking about cleansing and clearing and purging old energy from our being. Out with the old, in with the new. I'm feeling that a lot actually at the moment with the spring sort of in the air, although it doesn't really feel like it right now. It's a bit cold. But spring is in the air, so there's this sense of clearing out the old to welcome in the new. So if that's something that if you've been a bit bogged down or a bit weighed down by your past or the stuff that you've been going through, then it might be really good focus this weekend to think about letting go and purging and clearing out the old. So how could you do that? On a physical level in your life, you might want to have a clear out. Like for me, I've been washing all my curtains and scrubbing the windows, especially my son's, because, 19-year-old, he's great at a lot of things, but he's not great at cleaning his room. So scrubbing a lot of windows in this last week and just really physically clearing, spring cleaning, getting rid of boxes of stuff that we don't use. Having a really good clean of our home or our space might be something that works with this energy. We might not even hold the intention of clearing stuff out, but we're just naturally doing it. Yeah, I'm sorry the video keeps stopping. I'm aware that it is. I just trust that the audio is coming through. Until it drops down to 0 people watching, I've got to trust that someone can hear what I'm saying. Physically in our body, it might be taking a bath, a shower, going for a swim, standing out in the wind can be a great way to clear and cleanse stuff out of our body. Even exercising and moving our body and our joints can get stuff moving as well. So mentally, we can visualize like maybe a filing cabinet in our mind, and we pick and choose and clear out old files and papers and thoughts that we don't need any longer, that don't support us right now. And emotionally, I find working with the water element is great to clear stuff emotionally. And sometimes just having a big cry, putting on our favourite a movie that touches us, and just having a good cry can be a great way to release and purge emotionally. Or you can take it deeper if you've got specific things that you're working through. So our focus theme for this weekend is purging, cleansing, purifying, and really letting the old energy go, releasing our hold and surrendering. I trust that makes sense and resonates with you for this moment and this weekend. Thank you. So I've used my Speed of Light Oracle cards today. These have been created by me completely and are available now on my website if you want to learn more about them or add them to your collection or start working with them, because they're easy to use and they're very spot on with current energy, as you've probably noticed if you've watched a few of my videos, but great to work with personally as well. So check them out if you're interested. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, just send us a message through our website. So we've got a couple of things coming up. First of all, just a bit of news or an update on my new deck of cards, the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. I have no news yet. I was supposed to hear something yesterday on the 28th of September, on Friday, that the printing had been finished and hopefully they're being shipped out, but I haven't heard anything yet. So if I don't hear anything by Monday, I'll email them and just see what's going on. So still no news. The moment I have news, I will announce it on my Animal Kingdom Oracle Cards Facebook page. So keep an eye out on there. As soon as I hear something, I'll let you know. But at this stage, I don't have any news. So it depends when they're shipped as to when they will be in the country, and then they have to pass through Australian customs and I have to pay a customs charge, and then they will be shipped down to me here in Tasmania. So once the cards are shipped, I'm thinking it's going to be at least 3 weeks before they arrive in Australia and then clear customs and then actually arrive here. So until I hear anything, it's still at least 3 weeks away. So I will let you know, though, when I know. I just don't know yet. So I'll keep you informed. Communication's really important to me, open communication. So I will certainly let you know. So that's that. I have some healing events coming up, especially one today. We'll be planting the seed of new beginnings down here in my vegetable garden that I've been preparing for my spring planting of some potatoes. So I'm going to work that in with our healing event. So I will be recording that at some stage today, hopefully when the wind dies down a bit. And then I'll record that in a video, not live, and then upload it to YouTube. So keep an eye out for that if you're part of that event. And if you want to learn more about the work that I do at Temple of Balance, if you resonate with my way, the way that I share, you might find something really helpful and supportive on my website. So please take a look at templeofbalance.com.au. So that's probably all I need to say as far as that goes. I am hanging around though. We've still got viewers, so I think this hasn't completely shut down. If you can still hear me, if you can see me, hello. I'll be hanging around for 10 or 15 minutes for a chit chat. So if you want to say hello, if you want to ask a question, but I won't be doing readings. But if you have a question, if you want advice on something, if you want my opinion on something, if I have an opinion on it, I'll certainly share. So let me know if you have anything that you want to say. Thank you. It cracks me up sometimes. I crack myself up sometimes, I should say. So I will start saying hello to people if you're still watching. Hi, Irem. I'm probably not pronouncing your name correctly, but hi, Irem. Irem says, have a nice weekend. Sending you lots of love and namaste. Thank you, and namaste to you. And thank you, everyone, for your comments. I do read them all. I just cannot like them all at this point because I have hundreds of them and it takes like 5 minutes to like 5 comments. It's just so slow because there's so many comments. So I do respond to any that need it, but I do read them all, so you know. Thank you, Dina, and thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Joan. Joan says, oh, Puss is coming down to say hello. As we begin our fall, have a beautiful spring. Thank you. It's our turn to have spring. Coming out of winter is always beautiful and extra special. Thank you. Enjoy your fall. Hello, Puss. This cat is so funny, look. Hold on. Oh, now she's walking away. She thinks I'm talking directly to her. My son's just getting back to, if you hear someone's talking to me, he might not realise that I'm streaming. Loretta says, how can I kick depression? That's a good question. And to be honest, I have never been depressed. So I can probably share some things that I think that may help, or things that hold me out of depression or out of that space. But just so you know, I don't have actual experience with depression. I can safely say I've never been depressed. So, but I do have empathy, and I empathise with anyone who's going through that now or has. I've certainly had low points emotionally, and so when I think of, because I like to share from my experience rather than just saying you should do this and that and not having the experience, I need to think about my lowest times when I felt the lowest and how I've got myself out of that. For me personally, I like to catch myself before I spiral into a too low of a space emotionally, and that may be why I haven't actually been depressed. So if I'm feeling a way that I don't like to feel, if I'm feeling sad or self-critical or heavy or low in myself, for longer than 3 days, that's way too long for me. So I have to take steps to pull myself out of it. So how might I pull myself out so I don't keep going downward spiral, if you like? I definitely take steps straight away to nurture myself. So nurturing myself would definitely be taking a bath. Being gentle and kind with myself as well is really important, because I find the lower space that I'm getting into, the more self-critical I'm getting, the more low I feel about myself, the more doubtful I feel about myself. My confidence drops as well. I'm not feeling very courageous. I'm not feeling very strong in myself either. I feel quite weak and low. So I have to take steps to nurture myself back into strength, if that makes sense. So I look at and I'm aware of the things that help nurture me and nourish me. So I would be looking at the things that you can do, the things that feel nourishing and supportive for you, so you can step up and be there for yourself. So like for me, taking a bath, going for a walk, going camping, going offline for a little bit, doing some creating, might be things that I do to help support me through it. I also look at my thoughts and any negative thought patterns I've gotten into, any negative habits I've gotten into with my thinking that are holding me down, if you like. And I look at what they are, and then I look at clearing them out, deleting them, getting them out of my head, and replacing that thought with something positive. So like a positive affirmation to remind myself constantly to help rebuild my strength and rebuild my confidence again. Also, I guess it's important to say, if there's something in your life that's triggering or activating or holding you in a space of depression or low negativity or something like that, it will be important to look at the environment or the people in your life or the situations that are constantly holding you underwater. So if there's something that's holding you underwater in your life, about your job, your relationship, your home, it's going to be very hard to pull yourself out if you're still in that same environment. So it might be important to look at what's the trigger. Is there something that you're struggling to deal with, and how can you look at maybe that from another angle? I trust that helps a little bit, and sending you lots of love, Loretta, and anyone else who's feeling low or depressed. Hi, Sebastian. Sebastian says, hearing and seeing you loud and clear. Well, that's good. Glad it's working for someone. Hello, Alison. Desiree says, you're amazing. Thank you. Thanks, Desiree. That's a beautiful thing to say. Hi, Carol. Carol says, nice colouring with hair, makeup, necklace, sweater. Oh, thanks. I got some thumbs up from Carol. Thank you. Namaste, Richard. Hi, Lisa. You know, it was so funny yesterday. I had 2 formal events. And I don't have formal events very often, like 1 or 2 or 3 a year. And I had 2 of them on one day. And the first event was this big launch. And it was a private VIP invitation only. So I was lucky enough to be invited, which I'm so honoured about. And the guy organising it said, you know, wear your best clothes. So I got all dressed up. And everyone was just in real casual clothes. So it was really funny. And then last night at the ceramics art exhibition opening, I thought, okay, I'm going to an opening. I haven't been to many. And I thought I'll dress up a bit. And I arrive and everyone's just all casual clothes. This is Tasmania for you, you see. So it's quite funny that you mentioned about my clothes there, Carol, or what I'm wearing or whatever. And coming off yesterday's formal events that were kind of very casual, that I totally overdressed to, was quite funny to me. Hello, Fiona. Excellent, says Fiona. Hi, Joanna. Joanna says, good day, Leanne. Happy you have returned from Vacre Fresh. Thanks, Joanna. And yes, I'm happy to be back too. Hi, Claudia. Thank you, and enjoy your weekend too. Hi, Tanya. Tanya says, when developing the deck, are the theme cards all created together? Like the featured cards, do you mean? No. Nothing's created together. I don't create my deck like how people might typically create a deck. When I create a deck, I just draw something. I don't have unless I want to, usually at the end of making a deck, I might see what's lacking. So the last 2 or 3 cards might be something specific that I want to add to the deck, that might be filling a bit of a void in my opinion. But basically I just draw a picture and think, oh yeah, I could add that to the deck. That feels like it wants to be added to the deck. So I do the drawing. And I just do the drawings as I inspired, and they're all numbered according to when I drew it. So like the first card in the deck is the first illustration I did of that specific deck, and card 55 is the last one of that deck. So you can kind of see, probably if you lay them out, the journey that I took as an artist, and then I bring the information through. But no, a simple answer, no, I don't create theme cards together. Although... And that's if you're talking about featured cards. Although now I think about the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, which have featured timing cards, which I've never made before. They were actually created together because they're from photographs. But the Speed of Light Oracle ones, no. So I guess it just depends on which deck we're talking about. Sorry. Desiree, hello. Desiree says, love from DC. Can't wait for my Spirit of Light cards. Your Speed of Light? Speed of Light, I think you mean. Oh, have you ordered some? Are they on their way? Well, hopefully they arrive soon. Hi, Angela. Angela says, do you need a reading? I read, but only angel cards, and I'd love to return the favour. Oh, thank you so much. I don't actually need a reading. I mean, I guess if you would like to gift me one, then I'm grateful for any gift that you might want to offer. So if that's something you want to do, then... yeah, I'm very open and welcoming of that if you'd like to. As far as needing one, I don't need one. But if your heart says, and you'd like to gift that to me as a thanks for what you received, then yeah, I'm very open to that. So thank you, Angela. Desiree from Washington, DC. Thanks, Loretta. Joan says it's now frozen solid. Oh, I've got to laugh. You've got to laugh sometimes, don't you, honestly? Joanna says, how to move through anger or frustration. The best way I've found to move through anger or frustration is to feel it. The more I try and go like this and say, I don't want to be angry, or I shouldn't be frustrated right now, or I can't work out why I am and I should be happy because this is going okay, but I'm still feeling frustrated, or whatever reason might be. The more I try and avoid the frustration or the anger, the bigger it becomes and the more consuming. If we feel our feelings and let it move then to the next feeling, then it moves much quicker. So I feel the anger. I think that's really what I found for me. It's key. Maybe it might work for you too. Feeling it and using it as a motivator. I find anger very motivating because I get a bee in my bonnet about something. And I work my way through it. I feel it. And it usually propels me into a new way of thinking, doing something rebellious, which I wouldn't usually do because I'm feeling angry and just want to be a rebel. And do something crazy. So yeah, I suggest trying feeling it. Now, of course, anger can be destructive. So look at how you're expressing your anger in a constructive way and not a destructive way. So you wouldn't want to be taking it out on other people, for example, or even taking it out on yourself, but finding an outlet for your anger. So expressing it in some way. Journal writing can be a great way. I'm angry at you because you did this or whatever. It could be that. Because the fact is that at this moment, you might be angry at someone. So as you get that anger out, as you feel it in its fullness and express it in a safe way that doesn't harm anybody, then you're feeling that anger and you're then letting it flow and move to the next feeling. It will not hang around unless you're trying to avoid it and it's trying to get your attention. So feel it fully, perhaps, express it safely and see where it takes you. I trust that makes sense. That's what works for me. Just play with it and see if it works for you. It may not work for everyone. Thelma says, happy Friday, Saturday, everybody. Yes, happy Friday and Saturday. Friday for you if it's Friday, Saturday if it's Saturday. Thank you. Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Jeff says, I've been depressed before. It's hard to prescribe a cure. And yes, it would be, because it's very much about, it would be, I think everything that we go through is very personal. So we have our own ways of dealing with things. We have different strengths and weaknesses in our own personality. So different ways that we might approach something or look at something. So that's a very valid point, Jeff, that it is hard to prescribe a cure, but it's also very personal. So, you know, I guess just feel around for a way that works for you to get yourself out of it. Music helps, Jeff. Yeah, music is great. Tracy says, I am so in need of getting rid of stress. So I guess first of all, think about what's creating the stress. Are you putting extra stress on yourself, which sometimes I find I do. I'm stressed out about all this stuff going on, but then I notice I actually put a lot of extra pressure on myself. So when I release that, the stuff that I'm stressed about actually isn't that bad. So I think recognizing what's stressing us out, how much impact we're actually putting onto that stress is really helpful. And then look at the steps we might need to take to get out of it. Angela says, you help so much, so many people. I'd love to repay you for your help. Healing runes and angel cards, only positive readings, and you deserve one. My love to you and you all. Oh, thank you, Angela. That's a beautiful thing to say. Well, if you're inspired too, then I'll be most grateful to receive. Loretta says, I have followed many of your ideas. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Loretta. So I guess if you're still in that space, there's something maybe there to look at a little bit deeper, perhaps. Sending you lots of love. Sebastian says, I have a situation. I wish this thing would go away. Oops. I can't see everything that Sebastian's writing. Can I click see more? Oh. Gosh, Facebook cracks me up. So Sebastian has written something which I'll read in a moment. And I mean no disrespect, I haven't read a thing of it yet, but it said see more. so I clicked see more and it was like the last two letters that came out, which is funny. So Sebastian asks or says, I have a situation where I try to be positive and also optimistic, but I feel this negative energy that keeps my courage down. I look to the stars, but it seems as if I don't see their light. Any advice? So I have a situation where I try to be positive and optimistic, but I feel this negative energy that keeps my courage down. I look to the stars. Yeah, I've been in similar situation before, actually. And that was in an old relationship. And, you know, trying to look at things from different angles and trying to work things out. But it just didn't seem to work. And in the end, I just had to shut that door for me. So that's what I had to do to free that up, because I just recognised and realised that the situation's just not going to change. I didn't want to see myself still in that situation in another 5 years' time or even 1 year's time. So I had to make some drastic changes. So I guess you've probably already maybe explored things, or I don't know what specifically the situation is, but I mean, it's good to stay positive and optimistic, but I guess being real about it too is important. So how long have you been in this situation for? I mean, is this something that's been going on for a while? Is it looking like it's going to improve? Is the negative energy something that can potentially change, or is the reality of it, the truth of it, that maybe something needs to change? And I think I've noticed too, when I was going through it, that it's really hard to acknowledge that a physical change needs to happen until we're ready. Like I didn't even want to go there for quite a long time until I reached a point where I was just so fed up, and I knew I'd tried so many different ways and tried to keep the energy up, but it just wasn't happening. So I had to make the hard decision for myself and for all people involved. So until I was ready, though, I couldn't see that, and I wasn't ready to do that. So Now, I think holding positive and optimistic is great. Just always remember to be real and honest with yourself. And if it's a long-term thing that's happened, would you still like to be in this space in another 1 year's time or 5 years' time? And if you don't want to be, spend all of that time potentially in the same situation, maybe think about making some changes if that's something that's possible. But sending you lots of love. I trust that makes a little bit of sense. Belle says yes to something. What time is it anyway? 9:12. So I'll hang around for another couple of minutes and I'll play the singing bell to go if you still can see and or hear me. Joanna says, 1 hour at a time, 1 breath at a time. Slowly clear your mind. Be patient with yourself. Music, laughter, comedy, singing out loud, screaming, bath, walk. Be patient. You are unique, love. That's beautiful, Joanna. Now, I think another thing too, just going back to that about being in a depressive or low space, one thing that I've found that's really helped me has been finding something to focus my mind on. So at one stage I went through a couple of years of singing in a choir, and that singing in the choir and learning the songs and the songs going through my head and practicing my singing to myself was a great thing to focus on instead of focusing on things that might be happening or assumptions of what might happen in my future. And now I'm playing the trumpet a lot, so now I'm consuming myself hello puss, and now I'm consuming myself with music in that way, and actually learning something and creating a hobby, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It can be a great thing to focus on to help give us something to wake up for each day, or something to occupy ourselves, perhaps. That's great, Joanna. Thank you. Loretta, yes, thank you. Bill says totally. Carol says, but you always look nice. Thanks, Carol. Nicole says, do you do card readings? No, not really. I do email readings, a limited amount. They'll be opening up again on Monday. But no, for the most part, I don't do readings. I could, but I don't. I have other things that I choose to do. Plus, I like to encourage you to do your own readings and you to trust your intuition and to find your guidance that you need. So if you've got your own deck of cards, or if you meditate, then you can tap into the guidance that you need. In fact, I find working with my oracle cards every day, or most days for myself, really helpful in offering the guidance and the perspective that I might be looking for. So I encourage you to do your own readings. That's just me. And I'm not certainly not judging anybody who might do readings, because some people do, and that's fine. I've been to readers and I create cards, so readings are a big part of my life, but I do encourage you to seek your own guidance. Imelda says, I had to put my cat of 16 years down today due to a tumour in her chest and abdomen that exploded and caused her to swell up. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your cat, Imelda. Lots of love and big hugs. Hi, Ariel. Joanna says, big love to Imelda about her cat, yeah. Okay, we'll read Alison, and then I will play the singing bell. Alison, hello. Alison says, great advice. I'm not sure what you're responding to, but that's okay. Energy here in the US has been very low and discouraging the past week. I've decided the best way for me to cope with it is to rise, to set some boundaries, pay it no mind, I think give it no mental attention, and remain peaceful. Yeah, that's a really great point as well. There are great points there, Alison. Set clear boundaries, pick and choose what you invest your time in. If you get affected by the news, don't buy a newspaper and don't listen or watch the news, or find other sources that are not so fear-mongering. And and do what you can to rise up above it. And I think that really is what it's about, isn't it? So our energy gets low, and if we notice that it's getting low, if it has become low, then what can we do to rise up and lift up? So support ourselves, nourish ourselves through it, set some boundaries, look at things in our life that may be contributing, look at the things that are affecting us, and let ourselves see the wounds and the issues that may be being presented. You know, I really feel that things, if something triggers a reaction in us, it's not an accident. That it's triggered a reaction in us for a reason. And usually it's our own wounds that are trying to get our attention so that we can heal them and release. So releasing things that come up too is also, I find, really important. To let go. I've said it before, I let go many times a day, constantly. Because I recognise that I'm always wanting to let go of any baggage or any wounds or any issues or anything that's holding me back right now or limiting me. So I have to also face and take responsibility for the things that are being triggered, that do stir a reaction in me for some reason. Why has that stirred a reaction? When have I felt like that before in the past? What can I learn from it? What do I need to let go of or release to help clear me up or raise my energy vibration? So important points, and thank you everyone for commenting. I don't think I'll get to everyone's comments. I don't know how many down it is, but I'll read them all when I get back on my computer, and any important ones I will reply to. So, thank you. I'm going to play the singing bell to go. Thank you for hanging around, if you've been hanging around this whole time. But I'm going to play this now with the neighbour mowing the lawns in the background. So I'm just going to play this for a moment. You can't do anything wrong, just listen, take some deep breaths, and just allow yourself to fill up with the sound and the vibration of the bell. You might even find it helpful to breathe it in and imagine it lifting you up through your body, through your spine, through your heart, through your shoulders, drawing your shoulders back, through your head. Taking some big, deep breaths and filling you up like if you were a deflating balloon, filling yourself up with air and life force and the sound of the bell if you want to. So nice big breaths, and think about perhaps rising up, lifting up, filling up. So thank you so much for joining me today and hearing what has stood out for you, or what you could actually hear in between freezing and whatever happened. So thanks so much for being here. Sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will be back to share with you again soon. So, or I might connect with you later actually in the healing event if you're part of that healing experience. So I look forward to connecting with you if you're one of those people. If not, I'll connect with you again real soon. So thank you so much, and